Over the years, I've been commended for my slightly older style of YouTube videos. So what are we going to do? We're going to fully submerge in that. Because today we are going to be focusing on a top 5 relative to Sonic Adventure 2. For most, of course it's fun to look at the best stages, or the worst stages, or something relatively simple like that, but sometimes it's nice to appreciate the intricacies of this game. So this video will aim to do exactly that. For this video, we will be looking at the top 5 best looking stages in Sonic Adventure 2. Let's go. For 5th place, I had to give it to Pumpkin Hill. Now, a lot of you might not think of Pumpkin Hill when we talk about the best looking, but the issue with my title is that it's pretty broad, so there's a few ways to interpret this. Is Pumpkin Hill the most refined, beautiful looking stage of all time? No. Is it even top 5 in that regard? Probably not. But what I really do like about Pumpkin Hill is that it's very unique. The atmosphere is unique to this stage and this stage only. Yes, you can make an argument that Skyrail takes place in a similar location, but just it being daytime alone completely rewrites that aesthetic, and it does not do it justice. Here, in Pumpkin Hill, however, it's great. In a sense, it's not the best looking in terms of every category, but what it is probably the most unique aesthetic you're going to have in this entire game, and for that reason, I think it deserves at least a little bit of credit. So I believe that 5th place is fair, however, debate me in the comments if you wish. For number 4, I don't think anybody's going to object to this too hard. I think Dry Lagoon is totally fit for 4th place overall. It's just a very colorful and beautiful stage, and it's by the books in terms of its aesthetic. Mixing nature with a dawn-themed skybox is just a recipe for a great-looking stage, and Dry Lagoon manages to pass with pretty high standards. I will say that it is a little saddening I wasn't able to put this any higher than number 4, but make no mistake, number 4 is already great, and let's be honest here, if they refined a couple areas, I could see it very well being in the cards that this stage would look one of the best ever. So, if a remaster for Adventure 2 was to ever come out, I would be very excited to see what this stage would transform into, as I think that could very easily catapult this to 1st. Even then, it's still a beautiful looking stage, and as it sits, I don't think it really needs to change all that much, because 4th place is still great overall. With that said though, I think we can move on to our bronze medal. For number 3, controversial take, I know, but I think Cosmic Wall is the choice to pick here. I'm a big sucker for space. Always have been, for as long as I could remember, and Cosmic Wall manages to intrigue me in that way. Now, of course, I had ample options I could have chosen for the spot. Final Rush, Final Chase, Meteor Herd, Mad Space, Cosmic Wall. So why Cosmic Wall? It's because it has one part of the space aesthetic that no other variation really has. For the duration of your level, a lot of these weird structures that you see at the ends of the Space Colony arc is basically just for the background. It's just to enhance the aesthetic. But for Cosmic Wall, you get to directly interact with it multiple times, and it just makes the entire environment feel more full and utilized. It is a little bit of weird reasoning, but I feel like I had to pick a stage that stood out for this aesthetic because I really do enjoy it, and I think Cosmic Wall, by objective factoring, is probably the best. It's great to see a mech stage at this part of the list, just because a lot of the mech stages don't look great, because they usually either fall second to a better looking stage with the same environment, or they themselves just don't look good. Though, for the case of Cosmic Wall, I think it looks great, it utilizes every facet of its environment really well, and as a result just makes for a great aesthetic that I think is underappreciated. I'm sure it may come off as a bit of a shocker for those who thought this would be first, but we'll get there when we get there. As for why this is a silver medal, well, keep in mind, still very high standing, and of course City Escape deserves as such. It's bright, it's beautiful, it's expressive, it's everything you'd want in a stage like this. It's just a city during the daytime, so it's not exactly the most creative aesthetic, but I don't think it has to be. It just all around looks really amazing, and I'm really glad that for our first impression of Adventure 2, this type of look is what we get. Like Dry Lagoon, it has the fundamentals of what makes the level look good in the first place. If you're expressive and you pay tribute to the aesthetic you are going for, then you are bound to look really good, and for the case of City Escape, that holds true. So, once again, by textbook, it's supposed to look good, and it doesn't really achieve that through any unique means, but like I said, I don't think it has to. I also want to point out that I think that this aesthetic has the lowest number of lows. The highest lows, if you will. Anything here that needs to be touched up is extremely minor, if you can even find an example of an area that does need refinement. So, in essence, it's inoffensive at its worst and great at its best. Before we advance to number 1, I want to give Crazy Gadget an honorable mention. With that though, I am well aware that the aesthetic for the interiors of the Space Colony arc is done repetitively. We have gray corridors in Lost Colony, light blue in Eternal Engine, green in Crazy Gadget, purple and orange in Cannon's Core. It's been beaten into the ground, arguably the hardest out of any aesthetic in this entire game. In the case of Crazy Gadget though, I think it does it the best. There's enough going on within the level that it's eye-catching, and it doesn't feel too oversaturated here. It doesn't help with the bigger problem throughout the game that this aesthetic, again, has been abused time and time again, but here I would say it's done the most honor, so in that regard, that's why it's honorable mention. Now, on to number 1. I have absolutely no second thoughts about this. At first, I actually wasn't going to put Radical Highway at number 1. And then I decided to play it again just to get a little bit of a fresh memory about its aesthetic, and I realized I love this. I'm somebody who is a big sucker for contrast. Anything with a dark background that has this over-the-top glowy neon look to it that's bright and super expressive and catches your eye immediately, I am head over heels in love with that kind of look. And Radical Highway is great for that. It has a super colorful skybox in the background that brings so much life to the stage. What's interesting is that while I understand that Shadow Generations is graphically a much stronger game, I appreciate the variation of Radical Highway and Adventure 2 more. I think the contrast works better here. I feel that Shadow Generations takes some of that life out. But we still have this version, and I think this version still looks really good. It's badass looking even. I know that was a little bit of an iffy thing to say, but come on. This is so complimentary to Shadow, and I couldn't think of a better stage for his first level to take place in, as well as a better stage to top off number 1 on this list of the best looking stages in Sonic Adventure 2. This was a very subjective video to make, and I understand that there might be a lot of controversy in terms of how my opinions are. A lot of people will probably say my opinions are trash or divisive or whatever you want to say, but personally, the only thing I'm looking forward to is hearing what you guys have to say in the comments below. With that in mind though, thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care for now. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye.